Emilia-Romagna, Wikipedia audio. Emilia-Romagna, Emilian and Romagnol, EMA copyright Emilia-Romagna is an administrative region of northeast Italy comprising the historical regions of Emilia and Romagna. Its capital is Bologna. It has an area of 22,446 km² and about 4.4 million inhabitants. Emilia-Romagna is one of the wealthiest and most developed regions in Europe, with the third highest GDP per capita in Italy. Bologna, its capital, has one of Italy's highest quality of life indices and advanced social services. Emilia-Romagna is also a cultural and tourist center, being the home of the University of Bologna, the oldest university in the world, containing Romanesque and Renaissance cities, being a center for food and automobile production and having popular coastal resorts such as Cervia, Cesenatico, Rimini, and Riccian. The name Emilia-Romagna is a legacy of ancient Rome. Emilia derives from the Via Emilia, the Roman road connecting Rome to northern Italy, completed in 187 BC and named after the consul Marcus Aemilius Lepidus. Romagna derives from Romania, the name of the Eastern Roman Empire applied to Ravenna by the Lombards when the Western Empire had ceased to exist and Ravenna was an outpost of the East. Etymology. Before the Romans took control of present-day Emilia-Romagna, it had been part of the Etruscan world and then that of the Gauls. During the first 1,000 years of Christianity, trade flourished, as did culture and religion, thanks to the region's monasteries. Afterwards the University of Bologna, arguably the oldest university in Europe, and its bustling towns kept trade and intellectual life alive. Its unstable political history is exemplified in such figures as Matilda of Canossa and struggling signores such as the Este of Ferrara, the Malatesta of Rimini, the Popes of Rome, the Farnese of Parma and Piacenza, and the Duchy of Modena and Reggio. In the 16th century, most of these were seized by the Papal States, but the territories of Parma, Piacenza, and Modena remained independent until Emilia-Romagna became part of the Italian kingdom between 1859 and 1861. After the referendum of 2006, 7 municipalities of Montefeltro were detached from the province of Pesaro and Urbino to join that of Rimini on August 15, 2009. The municipalities are Casteldelsi, Maialo, Nove Feltria, Penabilli, San Leo, Sant'Agata Feltria and Tolomello. On May 29, 2012, 2 powerful earthquakes hit the area. They killed at least 27 people and caused churches and factories to collapse. Also 200 were injured. The 5.8 magnitude quake left 14,000 people homeless. The region of Emilia-Romagna consists of 9 provinces and covers an area of 22,446 km superscript 2, ranking 6th in Italy. Nearly half of the region consists of plains while 27% is hilly and 25% mountainous. The region's section of the Apennines is marked by areas of flisk, bad land erosion, and caves. The mountains stretch for more than 300 kilometers from the north to the southeast, with only 3 peaks above 2,000 m, Monte Simone, Monte Cusna, and Alpe di Successo. The plain was formed by the gradual retreat of the sea from the Po basin and by the detritus deposited by the rivers. Almost entirely marshland in ancient times, its history is characterized by the hard work of its people to reclaim and reshape the land in order to achieve a better standard of living. The geology varies, with lagoons and saline areas in the north and many thermal springs throughout the rest of the region as a result of groundwater rising towards the surface at different periods of history. All the rivers rise locally in the Apennines except for the Po, which has its source in the Alps in Piedmont. The northern border of Emilia-Romagna follows the path of the river for 263 kilometers. The region has a temperate broad-leaved and mixed forests, and the vegetation may be divided into belts: the common oak, European hornbeam belt, which is now covered with fruit orchards and fields of wheat and sugar beet; the pubescent oak, European hop hornbeam belt on the lower slopes up to 900 m; the European beech, silver fir belt between 1000 and 1500 m; and the final mountain heath belt. Emilia-Romagna has two Italian national parks, the Forest Casentino National Park and the Appennino Tosco-Emiliano National Park. In the first one are enclosed the forests with the most beautiful and lively autumn colors of Italy and one of the last old-growth beech forest of Europe. Emilia-Romagna has been a highly populated area since ancient times. Inhabitants over the centuries have radically altered the landscape, building cities, reclaiming wetlands, and establishing large agricultural areas. All these transformations in past centuries changed the aspect of the region, converting large natural areas to cultivation, up until the 1960s. The trend then changed, and agricultural lands began giving way to residential and industrial areas. The increase of urban industrial areas continued at very high rates until the end of the 2010s. In the same period, hilly and mountainous areas saw an increase in the registration of semi-natural areas, because of the abandonment of agricultural lands. Land use changes can have strong effects on ecological functions. Human interactions such as agriculture, forestation, and deforestation affect soil function, e.g. food and other biomass production, storing, filtering and transformation, habitat, and gene pool. History. In the Emilia-Romagna Plain, which represents half of the region and where 3/4 of the population of the region live, the agricultural land area has been reduced by 157 km², while urban and industrial areas have increased to over 130 km² between 2003 and 2008. The impact of land use and particularly of the urbanization of the Emilia-Romagna plain during this period has had some strong consequences in the economical and ecological assessment of the region. The loss of arable land is equivalent to a permanent loss of the capacity to feed 440,000 persons per year from resources grown within the region. The increased water runoff due to soil sealing requires adaptation measures for river and irrigation canals, such as the building of retention basins, at a total cost estimated in the order of billions of euros. The regional government is presided by the president of the region, who is elected for a 5-year term. The regional government is composed of the president and the ministers, of which there are currently 12, including the vice president and the undersecretary for the president's office. Apart from the province of Piacenza, Emilia-Romagna was historically a stronghold of the Italian Communist Party, forming the famous Italian Red Quadrilateral with Tuscany, Umbria, and March. This is probably due to the strength of the anti-fascist resistance around the time of World War II, as well as a strong tradition of anti-clericalism dating from the 19th century, when part of the region belonged to the Papal States. The strength of the anti-fascist resistance is one of the main factors, along with the effectiveness of trade unionism, that led to the dominance of the PCI in the region. Emilia-Romagna has since World War II been a left-wing stronghold, nowadays led by the Democratic Party, since its creation in 2007. At the April 2006 elections, 60% of voters in Emilia-Romagna voted for Romano Prodi, while 40% did in 2013. Emilia-Romagna is divided into 9 provinces. Apart from the creation of the metropolitan city of Bologna, plans to reduce the number of provinces from 9 to 4 have been dropped. The population density, which was equal to 197 inhabitants per km superscript 2 in 2010, is just below the national average. The population of this region is traditionally evenly distributed, with no dominant metropolis but rather a line of medium-sized cities along the Via Emilia, where the majority of regional industrial production is concentrated. The coast of Romagna is also densely populated due to the booming seaside tourism in recent decades. In the peripheral areas of the Apennine Mountains and the agricultural plains around Ferrara and Piacenza, the population is less dense. Emilia-Romagna has 13 cities above 50,000, Bologna, Modena, Parma, Reggio Emilia, Ravenna, Rimini, Ferrara, Ferla, Piacenza, Cesena, Imola, Carpi, and Faenza. Geography. Land use. Between 1876 and 1976, about 1.2 million people emigrated from Emilia-Romagna to other countries. As of 2008, there were 119,369 people from this region living outside Italy, particularly in Argentina, Switzerland, France, the United Kingdom and Brazil. As of 2008, the Italian National Institute of Statistics estimated that 365,687 foreign-born immigrants lived in Emilia-Romagna, equal to 8.5% of the total regional population. Government and politics. Administrative divisions. Demographics. Language. Economy. Apart from Standard Italian, Emilian and Romagnolo, 2 closely related languages that are part of the Emiliano-Romagnolo language family, are the local languages of Emilia-Romagna. They are Romance languages spoken almost exclusively in the region and in San Marino. The town of Faenza is on the border between Emilia and Romagna, half is Emilia and half is Romagna. They belong to the Northern Italian group within Romance languages, which is included in the wider group of Western Romance languages. They are considered minority languages, structurally separated from Italian by the Ethnologue and by the Red Book of Endangered Languages of UNESCO. Emilia-Romagna today is considered one of the richest European regions and the 3rd Italian region by GDP per capita. These results have been achieved by developing a very well-balanced economy that comprises Italy's biggest agricultural sector as well as a long-standing tradition in automobile, motor, and mechanics manufacturing and a strong banking and insurance industry. In spite of the depth and variety of industrial activities in the region, agriculture has not been eclipsed. Emilia-Romagna is among the leading regions in the country, with farming contributing 5.8% of the gross regional product. The agricultural sector has aimed for increased competitiveness by means of structural reorganization and high-quality products, and this has led to the success of marketed brands. Cereals, potatoes, maize, tomatoes, and onions are the most important products, along with fruit and grapes for the production of wine. Cattle and hog breeding are also highly developed. Culture. Farm cooperatives have been working along these lines in recent years. With their long tradition in the region, there are now about 8,100 cooperatives, generally in the agricultural sector and mainly located in the provinces of Bologna and Friuli Cesena. Industry in the region presents a varied and complex picture and is located along the Via Emilia. The food industry is particularly concentrated in Parma, Modena, and Bologna, as is the mechanical and automotive industry. The ceramic sector is concentrated in Faenza and Sassuolo. Tourism is increasingly important, especially along the Adriatic coastline and the cities of art. The regional economy is more geared to export markets than other regions in the country. The main exports are from mechanical engineering, the extraction of non-metallic minerals, and the clothing industry. The region of Emilia-Romagna has a very good system of transport, with 574 kilometers of motorways, 1,053 kilometers of railways and airports in Bologna, Friuli, Parma, and Rimini. The main motorway crosses the region from northwest to the southeast, connecting the main cities of Parma, Reggio Emilia, Modena, Bologna, and from here further to Ravenna, Rimini and the Adriatic coast. Emilia-Romagna is the main setting for Bernardo Bertolucci's epic 1900. Rimini is the birthplace of Federico Fellini and Ferrara of Michelangelo Antonioni. Emilia-Romagna is considered one of the richest regions of Italy with regards to its gastronomic and wine-making tradition. The region is known for its egg and filled pasta made with soft wheat flour. Bologna is notable for pasta dishes like tortellini, lasagna, cremigna, and tagliatelle, which are found also in many other parts of the region in different declinations. The Romagna subregion is known as well for pasta dishes like garganelli, strozzapriti, sfoglia lorda, and tortelli alla lastra. In the Emilia subregion, except Piacenza, which is heavily influenced by the cuisines of Lombardy, rice is eaten to a lesser extent. Polenta, a maize-based dish, is common both in Emilia and Romagna. The celebrated balsamic vinegar is made only in the Emilian cities of Modena and Reggio Emilia, following legally binding traditional procedures. Parmigiano Reggiano is produced in Reggio Emilia, Parma, Modena, and Bologna and is much used in cooking, while Grana Padano variety is produced in the rest of the region. Although the Adriatic coast is a major fishing area, the region is more famous for its meat products, especially pork-based, that include Parma's prosciutto, culatello, and Fellino salami, Piacenza's pancetta, coppa and salami, Bologna's mortadella and salami rosa, Modena's zamponi, cocchino and capello del prete, and Ferrara's salame d'asciugo. Reggio Emilia is famous for its fresh egg-made pasta cappelletti, the typical erbazzone spinach and Parmigiano Reggiano salted cake, and its gnocco fritto, some kind of mixed flour stripes fried in boiling oil, enjoyed in combination with ham or salami. Crescentina, best known as tigella, is the typical thin round bread that originates in the Apennines around Modena, and it is usually filled in with the typical cunza or with cold cuts, cheese, and salty dressings or sweet spreads. Piacenza and Ferrara are also known for some dishes prepared with horse and donkey meat. Regional desserts include zuppa inglese and pan pepito. An exhaustive list of the most important regional wines should include Sangiovese from Romagna, Lambrusco from Reggio Emilia or Modena, Cognina di Romagna, Guternio, and Trebbiano from Piacenza. Emilia-Romagna gave birth to one of the most important composers in the history of music, Giuseppe Verdi, as well as Arturo Toscanini, one of the most acclaimed conductors of the 20th century, and the world-famous operatic tenor Luciano Pavarotti. Cinema. The region is well known in Italy for its popular rock and folk musicians, such as Laura Pausini, Samuel Bersani, Luciano Ligabue, Vasco Rossi, and Zucchero. Romagna Mia, a song written in 1954 by Secondo Cassade, is considered by many as the unofficial anthem of Romagna. The most popular sport in Emilia-Romagna is by far football. Several famous clubs from Emilia-Romagna compete at a high level on the national stage. Bologna, SPAL, and Sassuolo compete in the top flight of Italian football A Euro and Serie A. The region's two biggest clubs are the only two to win major honors: Bologna, which has won 7 Scudetti and 2 Coppa Italia trophies, and Serie B side Parma, winners of 4 European Cups and 3 Coppa Italia. Cesena and Carpi both compete in Serie B. Cuisine and gastronomy. The region has hosted 32 of Italy's 331 home games. With 13 professional clubs in 2013, the region is only bettered in terms of number of professional clubs by Lombardy. It also has 747 amateur clubs, 1,522 football pitches and 75,328 registered players. Included in the table below are all sides in the top 3 tiers of Italian football, as well as any sides that have won major honors. Music. Sport. Football. Ferrari's motorsport division Scuderia Ferrari is also ran out of Maranello in the province of Modena, the team's colours being red. Ferrari's Formula One team has won 15 drivers' titles and 16 constructors' titles. The team has also won multiple Le Mans 24 Hours in sports racing. The most successful Ferrari driver is German racer Michael Schumacher, won 5 consecutive Formula One titles between 2000 and 2004 with Ferrari, being the first Formula One driver to achieve that milestone. Among other legendary Ferrari drivers include pre-Formula One era Tazio Nuvolari, and in the Formula One era Alberto Ascari, Juan Manuel Fangio, John Surtees, Niki Lauda, and Kimi Räikkönen include among drivers to have won the title in a Ferrari car. Ducati Corse is the motorsports division of Ducati's motorcycle company, being the predominant Italian constructor in MotoGP and the Superbike World Championship. Ducati has won 1 MotoGP title with Australian Casey Stoner in 2007. Stoner is also the most successful rider for the team in MotoGP, having won 23 Grands Prix in his 4 seasons. Ducati have had multiple world champions Valentino Rossi and Jorge Lorenzo race for the team. In 2017, Emilia-Romagna native Andrea Dovizioso finished second in the MotoGP championship for Ducati. The team has frequently had at least one Italian rider in its factory team since its entry into the Premier class in 2003 at the beginning of the 4-stroke engine era. Its first Grand Prix winner was Emilia-Romagna native Loris Capirossi in the team's inaugural season. Ducati have also won multiple Superbike titles with riders such as Carl Fogarty and Troy Bayliss being among title winners. Aside from Dovizioso and Capirossi, high-profile road racers Marco Melandri and Marco Simoncelli also have come out of Emilia-Romagna. Simoncelli died in an accident when he was ran over after a crash on track in Malaysia in 2011 at the age of 24, and was honored by having the race circuit in Misano named after him. Emilia-Romagna have 2 major international race circuits, Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari in Imola and the aforementioned circuit in Misano Adriatico. Imola used to host Formula One between 1980 and 2006, under the banner of San Marino Grand Prix on all but one occasion. The track was the site for the fatal crash of three-time world champion Ayrton Senna on May 1, 1994, along with a fatal crash the day before of Austrian Roland Ratzenberger. The track was rebuilt after the tragedies and returned to the calendar in a new guise already the following year. Imola was a happy hunting ground for Emilia-Romagna team Scuderia Ferrari during the era on the rebuilt track, with Michael Schumacher winning the race 5 times in front of the home crowd. Another sport which is very popular in this region is basketball. 2 teams from Emilia-Romagna currently compete in the Lega Basket Serie A, Virtus Bologna, which with 15 Scudetti, 2 EuroLeague championships and 8 Coppa Italia is one of the most important teams in Europe, and Reggiana from Reggio Emilia. 42 do Bologna have also won 2 Scudetti, but currently compete in Serie A too. The region has a very strong tradition in volleyball as well, with 3 clubs that are among the oldest, most winning, and prestigious teams in Italy and Europe: Parma, Modena, and Porto Ravenna. These 3 clubs have won a combined 9 CEV Champions Leagues, 4 won by Modena, 3 by Ravenna and 2 by Parma. There is not another comparable region in Europe with such a big presence of successful volleyball clubs. Another important volleyball club which has achieved important results both in Italy and in Europe during the last 15 years is Copper Volley from Piacenza. Panthers Parma are one of 4 American football teams that have participated in every edition of the Italian Football League. Zebra compete professionally in the Pro14, the combined Irish, Italian, Scottish, South African, and Welsh Rugby Union League. The club's home ground, the Stadio Sergio Lanfranchi, is located in Parma. Included in the table below are all sides in the top 2 tiers of Italian rugby. Coordinates: 44A degree 30A Euro superscript 238A Euro superscript 3 and 10A degree 57A Euro superscript 225A Euro superscript 3 I/I 44.51056A degree and 10.95694A degree EI/44.51056, 10.95694. Motor sports. Other sports.